This will be round 6 of the current Premodern League. It's funny, it's a rematch basically of the finals from the challenge yesterday, which I won. Hopefully the opponent isn't on replenish again. It is difficult, but you know, I won yesterday, so it's not unwinnable. Anyway, the opponent's going first, and I mean, I can't put too much stock in knowing what he played yesterday. Plus, if I hit black, I've got Duress and Hypnotic, so that's oh, and they mulligan to 6. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I mean, I'm just not gonna send this back. Lots of people mix it up a lot, and you know, like I mentioned, it's still not bad. Oh, man. All right, I just I need him to not be too quick out the gates. I can play Wall of Blossoms, hopefully hit a little black, and then get to discarding, and hopefully you know, survival into like a deranged hermit or something. Okay, so two back-to-back islands makes me think. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna play the wall with two draws, one between the wall and one for the natural draw of the next turn. I feel like that makes more sense than playing the bird. I mean, it's a gamble, of course, but I'm not gonna throw my stuff off that much. I think they're playing maybe mono blue dreadnought here. Oh, that was a good draw. Let's see if they daze this. Nice. I have no idea what they're going to do this turn. Oh, here we are. So it's straight up mono blue. Okay. This is interesting. Huh. I'm going to Cabal Therapy. I have to stop Parallax Tide, and Therapy lets me flashback. Because next turn they're on cue to do the whole Tide Chain combo. Huh. Looks like they had one side but not the other. That's funny. Let's see. What do I want to do here? We got Mana Leak. This is interesting. I mean, I could take out the Mana Leak and then resolve survival and get it going. Or I could take out two Chain of Vapors. It's a little bit of a dilemma. And then next turn I'll have enough mana to play survival into Mana Leak. You know what? I'm just gonna take out the Mana Leak and get things moving now. This will be an interesting match though. It's I feel like it's a good matchup, but it's definitely can be challenging. It is for sure. Ooh, this is interesting. So they're giving me the opportunity to pay it and then take out the chains anyway. I think I'm going to. Okay, well that was productive. Like they can still tide and stifle, but being able to bounce my thing with the tide copy and bounce the tide to reuse it, it's just it hurts a lot more. The stifle is definitely the less powerful of the possible components. Okay, so I'm taking two. That's basically just a useless turn and does essentially nothing. And now I'm going to play it safe. I mean, I could play through Mana Leak anyway, but still, I nonetheless do want to duress them. Impulse, interesting. I wonder if they play Flash of Insight. That would justify the playing of the Impulse. Though I guess if they just go get a land. No, that makes sense. I think I spoke too soon on that. Okay, so they've got basically nothing at this point. Definitely want to play Bird. I'm playing Survival, of course. And let's see, I think I want Roots to be big enough to block a Pumped Factory, so I'm just going to leave it as is. The opponent doesn't know I have Squee, so they don't know exactly how badly I want to use the Wall of Roots this turn. If I didn't already have Squee, then it would be just a mild inconvenience to wait till the next turn to do activation. Though, of course, if they don't have anything better to do, they're just going to go for it anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I guess they could potentially... Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking they could attack with 2 factories. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then they couldn't attack with the Conclave. I think it would have made the most sense to just attack with the Conclave alone. But the end result is that they get 2 through. Unless they had something for 2 mana that they could cast, then it cost them nothing to go this route. Okay, so end of turn. Get rid of big Squee here. And what do I want to combine with the Hypnotic Spectre? Let's see. I'm going to have 6 mana at my disposal. 3 for the Spectre, 2 for a Tempting Worm, 1 for reuse of Squee. Yeah, that's what I want here. Well, I'd rather play the Spectre, so hold that for later. I'll probably never need it. Run that out first. Run this out second. And done. Yeah, the opponent's in a pretty tight spot here. Something to consider is that... Oh, that's interesting. They're playing more stuff. Powder Keg. Okay. I was thinking, like, maybe I could get Masticore to force the Spectre past the fairies. But whatever. Better to just go for the throat, I think. Okay. I mean, I should probably just kill that with a Orangutan, right? And then just do some more value stuff. I feel like that makes sense. Because I can't really amp up my offense quite yet. Yeah, I'm gonna kill that keg. Nice. Glad to hit my land drop there. First, get this out of the way. Play Tabi. Off the keg. something here. Let's discard Squee. What do I want to get for this cost? Probably Vigilante. Yeah. Oh, they're just conceding. That makes sense. It's very much down the drain at this point. Okay. So that went very well. I want Tsavo's Web. Really glad I still have 2 in here. It's so hard to decide how many Tsavo's Web I want because it feels like I bring them in less and less. But then when they do come in, they're so insane. It's just sort of a dilemma, I guess. I want some number of naturalized, and yeah, I want all the tempting worms, I think. Probably get rid of the hermits. So many, between the stifle and the mana leak and the counter spell and the powder keg, just so many ways to just blanket for far less than I'd pay for it. I want at least 2 naturalized. There's a fairly good chance that they've got stuff like Cursed Totem and whatnot. What do I not want here? I could get rid of one of the Wall of Roots. I absolutely want all of these. I absolutely want all of those. I guess I could spare another Wall of Roots if necessary. I want the Nightmares here. They help me force through my Hypnotic Spectre and whatnot, and Tempting Worm. Even without Deranged Hermit, I feel like in this kind of matchup, they're still quite good. So, Squee, Orangutan, of course. Elder is great value here. Vigilante, Muse, Genesis. I can't spare any of that stuff. So, I'll cut the second wall. I like still having 2 walls to go get. And 3 naturalized feels right. Like 4 might leave me a bit overly spread out. Overextended, I guess, would be the better way to describe it. And yeah, next game, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind and put in the 4th naturalize over the Wall of Roots, but this feels like it ought to work. Really glad to have won the first game. That mono blue deck, even though I feel like it's a solid matchup, I mean, sometimes they just shut you right out. That could easily happen, and just knowing that I can afford to be shut out one of these games without losing the match entirely is a big relief. So they put a mulligan to 6 on the play. I like this hand, but not quite enough. Being on the draw means I have more chances to dig my way out of this. This is a comparatively better hand, I guess. Again, it's quite good that I'm on the draw. Let's go with that second Nightmare. It seems like the weak link. I just hope they don't force spike my bird. Ooh. Don't do it. Oh, thank goodness. I don't think they'd chain it. That would be that would be too over the top. Really need to hit my next land drop though. Come on. Ugh. Alright, well, I'm not going to run survival into this. I'm just going to do a duress. Probably hit a mana leak. Yep. And unfortunately, I can't just go land survival after that. I just have to be done. Probably going to, like, untap and, I don't know, play like a Cursed Totem, then I'll miss my land drop again. And then there's the awkwardness of playing against Cursed Totem, where when you naturalize it, you want them to not have mana to counter, but then on the other hand, you want to do it on their end stuff if at all possible, so that way if they save it with Chain, you can at least get a turn worth of using your stuff. And in a best case scenario, you take it out with discard, so it just doesn't come back at all. Oh, okay, there we are. So, oh man, I think I have to do the survival here. There's always a chance they don't have it. Even if they do, I have other good stuff to do. Like, these are all solid cards. And I can't just sit back and let them, I don't know, play Impulse or whatever. Well, they can still play it, just not without cost. Unless, of course, they find a null, in which case I'm kind of in a tough spot. Okay, that was really good to see. They might tide all my lands, in which case I need to rip another one and then naturalize. If they're going for like the Stifle combo instead of the Chain combo, that could very well be how this turn goes. Yeah, it looks like it. Get rid of the worm. Go get a bird. So that if I miss, I at least have some way to defend myself here. Another naturalize. Yeah, it's really mocking me there. Alright, I'll play another bird. I'll do what I can, at the very least. Powder keg. Not what I wanted to see. I have a feeling they have Stifle. If I hit the Tide and they just Stifle it, that doesn't help me at all. But if I hit the keg, that feels like it has the, like if I hit the Tide and they don't Stifle it, then I can also naturalize the keg. But this feels like the more likely way to get the most out of this naturalize. And I don't want to do it on the opponent's turn, because then they'll have mana to like impulse into a counter instead of just needing to have the counter. Accumulated knowledge, not very high impact spell at this stage of things. Please resolve. Oh, he's going to chain it. Yeah, I think that's going to get chained. Oh, interesting. I wonder what the consideration was for if the chain wasn't going to occur. They could have bounced my survival too, copying it. And I guess I could have bounced the Tide, but presumably they're holding Stifle. It just seems really likely, given the way they've acted. Though on the other hand, I mean, I only had 2 lands in play when they played that. Just straight up removing my lands and letting it sit for a few turns is like a totally legit play. Okay, so now the survival's getting directly chained. I wonder what the follow-up to that is going to be. Oh, that was awkward. A misclick. Playing a little too quick. At this point, do I want to web maybe? Or do I want to play survival? I mean, they didn't play the keg, which makes me think they have a counter spell, and it makes me think they have a counter spell and a Stifle. Do I want to play the web now? I mean, it seems better than running the survival into a counter. There's no way that resolves. Okay. Counter spell down. So at this point, I mean, no guarantees, but I think all they have is a Stifle plus this new mystery card. Unlikely to make another unfortunate misclick. Yeah, just eating 4 damage. And we got a land. Okay. Yeah, I'd really like to have that web, but you know, survival is just more important. Okay. And actually, at this point, I feel like Elder is really what I want. It just fits with the flow of the game really well. Now the moment of truth, we'll see if this actually gets stifled. Yep, it does. Likely turn would be just attack with a single factory. I block, they pump. I get my lands. Gonna get one of each. Okay, now I could go for survival, or I could just go for Graveborn Muse. I'm gonna go for the survival, because that way if it gets countered, I can follow up with Wall of Blossoms, which is a perfectly good play. But if the Muse gets countered, I have, you know, nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna pass, get survival up and running on the opponent's turn. Probably eat 4 more damage. Yeah, I'm lucky that they don't have spells to cast instead. Just a bit of good fortune there. Anyway, get the Squee Engine up. What do I want here? Probably, I feel like Wall of Roots makes a lot of sense to start off with. Yep, even in the super controlling matchups, you still want to get Wall of Roots with survival fairly often. So now I can block one of those. I'm going to discard Squee. I'm going to play Hypnotic Spectre. And either it trades with a counterspell or it takes one of their cards every turn. Both of which are excellent. And if they don't go for the factory attack, then I can end of turn discard Genesis, which is always handy. Yeah, let's get the Orangutan here. Target Squee to minimize the clicks. Yeah, it's over. Alright, sweet. Well, just like 1 month ago, I've got the repeat of the first in the challenge and a 6-0 in the league. So yeah, feeling really good about how this deck has been performing. It's just doing super well, running very smooth, and I like the recent changes with that, especially with that second Hypnotic Spectre in the sideboard. So yeah, just good stuff overall.